Hello, it's BrickBros UK with our alternative build for the LEGO Batman movie Clayface Splat Attack 70904, which we know is a really popular set because lots of you guys have been asking us to make a new build for it. And we're now happy to say we finally finished it because we created the alternative build we're calling McCASKILL Capture, which includes a smaller Clayface figure with clay trap. So if you want to make this, you can check out the step-by-step build tutorial at the end, but first let's review these builds. Now for this creation we only had a few of these side panel pieces left over, which you can always add in if you want to. And starting with the main build, as you can see, Clayface is now smaller compared to the original set figure because we needed to use lots of his parts for our clay trap build, but we thought it would be fine to downsize him because the villain is known for morphing into different shapes and sizes. Now his feet are still ball jointed but are smaller, and each one has a rock slope brick on the front of them for more detail. There's also extra plating on the sides and back to bulk them out, but their main purpose is to provide stability for the figure when it's stood up, and they do this job well. Moving up the figure, you can see that we've used lots of round light brown plates on the smaller torso to create his clay texture, and his arms, like the original figure, are identical but of course smaller. They are also made up of the light brown plate pieces, and there's a sloping rock piece on each one that conceals the multi-stud shooter weapons Clayface has in each hand, which are fun to unleash at Batman in combat. Then on top, we found it hard to create a similar head for Clayface, but we eventually cracked it by giving the villain similar features to the original head with an open mouth expression that's still got teeth, but we added some drooling clay coming out of it to give him a slightly different look. And of course we had to use the same printed eye bricks above the mouth to complete his face. Then in play you can move the head freely thanks to the ball joint connection. And at the back of the figure you can check out the texture we built up on the head and body, completing his construction. So overall it was a real challenge to downsize Clayface and keep him to scale, but we feel we did a good job because you still have a figure of the villain that's very poseable for play, which also looks good for display. Next up, it's our extra build, the clay trap. That's an old industrial site Clayface has taken over to turn it into his lair. And on the left there's a clay splattered brown mud base where we built this large clay trap, which is where Clayface can keep the hostage MAYHEM McCASKILL, because we've made these clay fingers that you can move out to reveal the minifigure clip area inside. And when you clip in the mare, you can fold the fingers on her to make it look like she's stuck in clay to stop her from escaping, so it's a cool little play feature you could use with any minifigures including Batman. Then between the left and right builds is this brick built piping that's covered in more clay pieces for decoration, and it simply helps keep the builds together. And on the right is this old fuel tank that we've made from the round brown bricks, which shows it's been covered in clay by the villain. And this is why we've built up lots of clay parts and pieces around the side and base, plus there's a handy clip for the radio just to keep it safe. Then spinning to the back you can get a better look at all of the construction as well as the rock bricks we've used on the trap that add to its design. And as an extra feature we hinge the whole build so you can customize the size and layout of Clayface's industrial site for play to suit your needs. So overall it was fun making the clay trap build because we feel the clay trap feature suits the set's minifigures because you can trap the mare in the clay so Batman can rescue her, and because it's all decorated in clay it might make a nice hangout place for the villain. On a final note, the McCASKILL Capture alternative build was a fun challenging build because we knew fans wanted us to keep the brick built villain, so it was great that downsized version of Clayface works in play, plus looks good because you can still use him to battle Batman with his multi-stud shooting hands and poseable head and limbs. But the best bit is we took the spare parts from the figure to give Clayface this industrial site trap that might make a cool base or lair for the villain because all of the clay parts decorate it well. Then for play, the trap with its moving fingers creates an objective for the set because you can put the mare in the trap, then send in Batman to rescue her. So if you like what you see and want to make this build, here's the step-by-step build tutorial. And that's the finished build, so now you can enjoy McCASKILL capture, or maybe you've taken inspiration from the build to make something more awesome. Hope you enjoyed a Brick Bros UK alternative build, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Brick Bros UK.